you're going to do well in the finals.
And part of that can be that you just aren't as hungry for the tournament as other players might be. Wasn't true in Stefano's case, though, but he's a bit of an aberration, isn't he?
He is an aberration in every way, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, let's get this started, man. Of course, Creator did fall to seed, by the way. So, I mean, it's seed, dude. I don't know.
I mean, we don't know what happened in those series without maybe taking a peek at the match history or hearing it from someone else. But Creator, he does have very strong PvP, but that does not mean you can guarantee 100% that he's going to win a PvP series.
Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at these players. Up here in the top left of Entomb Valley are Protoss, the Korean champion. It is Creator, Prime. And then down here in the bottom left, a very good Zerg. Everyone in practice speaks highly of him. It is SlayerS.Miya. All right, so here we are, and Entombed Valley. This is a map that some Zergs hate. Some Zergs don't mind it as much, but in these positions specifically, I feel like it does favor Protoss a bit, especially in that early game, especially if you do something like, you know, one of these 3 base, like the really quick third Nexus into like a Blink +2 all-in, something like that.
Yeah, I definitely prefer this positioning to a full cross map because there's so much open terrain to cover. Whereas on this position, you can use that left aisle and come with Blink Stalker Sentry. And so long as you make sure you hit your attack before the 11-minute mark off of 3 base, you're gonna not be facing infestors. It's just Lynx and Roaches. A few force fields will completely defend you from anything that the Zerg might have, and it could be a very strong type of attack. Now, an element of that early timing off of 3 base would require you to get your third Nexus at the 6 to 7 minute mark, as we have seen often on Entombed Valley. Now, there is something that Zerg can do against that, which a lot of Zerg seem to know yet. I think I saw it from, I think it was Symbol or another Korean Zerg, but it's where you get quick speed upgrade, and you, or even without speed upgrade, but you just make something like 12 to 16 Zerglings, and you go to that third base at the 6-minute mark to deny that wall off. And then suddenly Protoss is behind on tech, doesn't get the third Nexus, and it's behind on economy as well.
It's a completely great move, to be honest. That's something, it's a complete metagame move, for sure. But I would love to see that here, actually, out of Miya, because I feel like almost every game I've seen on this map recently, it's been that quick third Nexus. Maybe sometimes off of as little as a Zealot and a Stalker with a player like Hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes a little bit more off of some other players, but if you do have those Lings, of course, they aren't going to be able to take that Nexus, and that's going to be unbelievably strong.
So, some real talk, right? I played Miya in a best-of-5 a couple of months ago, and the score was 2-2, and the third game was on Entombed Valley with these exact positions. Exactly like this. Oh, look at that. The wall-off is too bad. The pylon is 1 slot too far to the right, so that the cannon cannot be hidden behind a cybernetics core. So, if this was like 6 to 8 links, it would have been super awkward for Creator. But anyway, I played him on exactly this position, and I faked going for a third, and instead did a 2-base blink. And Miya was going for Mutalisk, so it was super great for me. I was able to kill the third, and then we were both on 2 bases. We got our third at the same time. The Mutalisk didn't do much, and eventually Miya was just camping 3 base for the longest time ever with 20 Spine Crawlers, got his Infestor Broodlords, and I ended up losing a 1-hour game against 36 Infestors.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Basically, yeah, I should have won that game. Blink Stalker is incredibly powerful on these positions. But Miya, he's a resilient guy with very great Infestor micro.
Indeed, and Miya is actually, he's playing smart. He's doing exactly what you mentioned before, where he's gotten that quick speed, but he's still mining gas. So it's hard to say exactly where he's going to go from this because of the fact that he's still mining gas. Could it be a really quick layer?
Yeah, like I said, he was doing Mutalisk against me at first, so that might be something that he could be looking to do again. He's very close to 100 gas. Momentarily, the curtains will be lifted off of his grand stage theater play. There we go with the lair, and it is possible that he's going to go for 2-base Infestor into 3-base.
Yeah.
And that would be a play that cannot be aggressive at all, but which would lend itself to something like a super long 3-base camping game, where you can actually get more infestors than you normally would because you get them so soon. So maybe he just wants to inch out a very, very, very late fourth off of 20 infestors. Just a few Broodlords to control the map and to control fights and force the opponent to come into him, and then just using massive amounts of infestors to try and be the backbone of his army.
Well, it's definitely looking like that right now. Just looking at this, right? He's gotten all 4 of his gases. He's really focusing on just banking that gas up to have enough to make something. But his opponent is actually going for Stargate tech. So let's say he goes mutas. He is in so much trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have already started on the... Well, I don't even need to talk about it anymore because the infestation
I want to hear
down,
it anyway.
thank God. Well, I mean, if you've already started Phoenixes and your opponent goes mutas, I mean, as long as you're any good at StarCraft, you're going to win that game. You're going to get so effective with the Phoenixes, it's going to be silly. So he has gone for that infestor play that we all know that he really loves. And it looks like it's about time for him to take his third base. He's going to have to take that pretty soon here because, I mean, 2-base infestor is no longer a common build for a reason. You need the extra economy of that third base.
Yeah. But again, he might just be playing it not normal, like just playing super, super defensive. You're going to be allowing the Protoss probably to do too much, but it might work if the opponent is not very used to it.
That's true, and to be honest, it's an interesting choice specifically against Creator because not all, but almost all of Creator's strategies in this matchup are hinged on Blink Stalker play.
Yeah.
So being that really defensive player, maybe with some spines, lings, obviously a lot of fungal growths, that's going to be pretty useful against someone that isn't using as many Colossi.
You know what? You're right, Artosis. I really think this is a specific anti-Creator type of play that he's doing. And if it isn't, it's still going to work out that way. It doesn't matter if it's...
So it doesn't matter. We can just look smart now. This is wonderful.
It doesn't matter if it's intended.
Yeah. I love situations like this. Win, 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 win. All right. So, I mean, he is taking that third base, and it does look like he's going to be that super turtle style. And that's something that actually a lot of players don't seem to realize. You can play a lower economy Zerg if you don't ever lose infestors and you don't ever lose Broodlords.
Yeah.
And we've seen that occasionally from time to time. For instance, a game that comes to mind, I don't know if you saw it, Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Party on Ohana.
Who?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh!
He actually, Parting killed his third base. Yu-Gi-Oh! Sat on 2 base against a 3 and then 4 base Parting for minutes and minutes and won because he just never lost a unit.
Yeah, I am very familiar with that situation. A lot of European Zergs play like that. And that's actually why I don't like going for a build that is designed to kill the Zerg third and then draw back. Because somehow they always end up making tons of infestors.
Yeah. Well, they don't have minerals anymore. I guess they got to spend that gas, right?
Exactly. So I'm like forcing them to make the best unit composition in the game.
That's dumb of you, Grubby. Why do you do that? All right, so we see this is a pretty quick hive going up. And, of course, we do have the Blink upgrade for Creator. He is teching up to Colossus Tech as well, which is going to be helpful, of course. He's going to need that splash damage to help him out against the Lings and the Infestors. But his Phoenixes, they haven't done much this game.
Yeah. I noticed that if the opponent has Spores already when you're going for Phoenix, you are physically a little bit behind. It's not exactly the case because... Oh, wait. Okay. It's not exactly the case because the third was so late for Miya. But usually, if you don't get to kill like 2 queens and a few drones, it's not that good. But the good thing is he stopped at 4 Phoenixes. He didn't go up to 6. That's kind of okay. You clear up Overlords, you keep up tabs on when the 4th is going up, and it's a more reliable kind of scouting than just an observer, and much faster too.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of Creator's builds are primed around Colossus, like 3 Colossus timings.
Yeah.
In fact, the way that Creator won TSL 4, almost easily, I should say, was really revolved around 15-minute timings against Zerg. Then he would have 12 gates to back it up, phenomenal macro, without a fault, and would just win a lot of games like that.
Well, he's definitely, he throws up the Nexus before I can say it, but he's obviously by his probe count, he is planning on a much longer game.
Yeah.
And I feel like in this situation, completely the correct call.
Oh, yeah.
I mean... SlayerS.Miya is setting up for Creator to try to kill him before Broodlords.
Yeah.
If Creator doesn't even try to kill him, he loses nothing, and all this static defense that so much money's been invested into, I don't want to say useless,
no,
but it did not.
Yeah.
It did not do what it was intended to do. So getting a 4th up before Zerg, he's going to have to bring this game super long. He's going to have to get Mothership. He's probably going to have to take a 5th base as well.
Yeah.
This game should be extremely long.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, don't leave, but if you did, you could come back in half an hour and still see us here.
Yeah, most likely. I would say that this game isn't ending before 50 minutes.
Yeah. No, probably not. That's just the way that the pieces have been set up.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, of course, it's semi-static defense. You said static defense. Spine.
Wow.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is. And it means, of course, he's not going to be able to attack with it before 50 minutes mark, and that's why we're probably going to get to that stage in the game. But Creator, in this particular situation, Warp Prism harass. I know there's going to be some nerds out there. They're going to be saying like, "Oh, he should be starting his Warp Prism Zealot harass." It's not going to be quite the same idea because Miya has not at one point been spreading himself thin.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be thinking about throwing up spines in his main base soon.
Yeah.
He knows it might get to that phase.
The left side of his main and natural, I would not be surprised to see 2-3 spores go up and maybe a few spines as well, just to make sure, because it's obvious, and that's why you said, a lot of Protoss players are probably thinking, why aren't you starting Warp Prism harass? Well, he is. He's getting the Warp Prism speed.
You still
He's
do
getting
it,
the Warp
of course,
Prism, but it's something that's somewhat predictable and something that he should be able to stop. It shouldn't be too big an issue.
Now, I see some action at the 4th base. It's just some Phoenixes killing drones.
That's right.
There we go with the Prism. That Immortal is not that great in late game situations against Ling Infestor Broodlord, so it's totally okay and right and smart to be using that in a Prism and dropping. Now he's going to warp in units, and ideally the Infestor should be hidden until more units get warped in, but it's not the case, and it's just going to decide to take this down very very easily. Will that Immortal get a kill? Yeah, he's going to kill a Queen.
Yep. Not the most effective drop, but, as you said, the Immortal becomes almost useless in this situation. Yeah. It's like force supply that just sits around and wants to die to Broodlings. So.
Yeah, it really wants to. That becomes its main ambition.
It does.
Creator is now getting his first attack upgrade, and I think he's going to go for potentially for carriers.
Yeah.
He doesn't necessarily have to, but one attack doesn't make that much sense on Mothership. What I usually do is I start making armor upgrades, even if I never intend to go for carriers, just to prevent the Herpaderp Corruptor click on the Mothership. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea actually. I will give that a try.
I mean, you got the 2,000 resources in the bank. All you need is your I wouldn't say all you need is the Mothership, but you definitely need it not to die. That is for sure.
Yes.
So just start getting armor upgrades purely for the Mothership alone. Take more hits from the Corruptors. You get the shield upgrade as well, and it's going to make it a little bit more hardy, and defense systems aren't going to be failing as easily.
I do like that idea, but at the same time, getting that plus attack, the plus attack is going to be better overall on carriers, and I think creators looked at this and assessed it the same way we have. This is going to be super long. He's probably wondering himself, can I beat Miya's ultimate composition with a ground-based army? So maybe he's just getting that